For years, the American people have suffered under the lawless, dangerous, wage-reducing immigration policies of this administration. This Congress has chosen to make things worse.
And what's happening is they can no longer make a profit. So they're cutting back. And then when you place a law like Obamacare on them, which makes their cost of operating with an individual, with the people that they work with and their employees, it makes it prohibitive for them to continue. Either they have to cut back, get rid of a number of employees, or again, go out of business. And it's that simple. And
yeah,
I think when Margaret Thatcher was Prime Minister of England, she said it all. Socialism really works until you run out of other people's money.
That's right. That's
and we're
right.
about to run out of the money here. This is the catastrophe that we're right on the blink of.
Well, it seems to me that the Democrats and some of the Republicans have ganged up to push down the working people in America. Okay, they want to bring in all these low-paid immigrants to take their work and kick them out of their jobs and put all these low-paid people in instead. And, you know, the media won't report that. And it's, you know, it's like you say, it's like a lie, a wall of lies that are separating the American people from what's happening in Washington.
And this is where we as Christians have to take responsibility and do the things
Absolutely.
that are necessary.
Well, you know, on November 3rd, things really happened here in Kentucky. And, you know, the media did everything they could to get Conway into office and said he was going to win by 6 percentage points. And when the election was over, Matt Bevins won by 9.
Right.
And one of the biggest landslides that ever happened. And, you know, you mentioned that you say, well, why did that happen? Well, it's because everybody kicked in. They kind of got fed up with what's going on. And
there is an ingredient that's coming into play, a level of awareness. They may not be able to articulate it, but their instincts, their gut instincts are telling them this is not right and we've got to change it. And hopefully that will continue.
Yeah.
And that's our responsibility. And I keep thinking of the old hymn about onward Christian soldiers.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And this is where Christians are going to have to fight for the continuation.
Absolutely.
And what's happening, and we're not doing anything for the Christians in the Middle East that are being slaughtered, murdered. And
Obama won't let any of them in.
And one of the things that people don't realize is a lot of the things that go on, we are never hearing the details of it.
Yeah,
When the Supreme Court ruled in favor of gay marriage, the Islamic fundamentalists then threw homosexuals in the Middle East off of the tops of buildings.
I know. I heard that.
And they thought that was a fun thing. It's their answer to the passage of that law. But it's something that's growing, but we have to become more aware and defend the things that are important, for not only for the survival of the United States, but for the religion of Christianity itself.
Right.
Jews are being persecuted, not
yes.
like anything since World War II.
Yeah.
And it's going to continue.
Well, you know, you said onward Christian shoulders. That reminded me of a Bible verse in the book of Jude, and it's the 3rd verse, and it says that we should be contending for the faith.
Exactly.
We should stand up for the faith. Now, here you go. You know, the anti-faith people came, they took prayer out of our schools, the 10 Commandments, the Bible, creation science, and they put their religion in, which is humanism.
Right.
And then they come to you and me and say, hey, we want you to pay for this.
That's exactly what happened.
And, where's that? Where are we contending for the faith? But I think that what happened on November 3rd is that, like you say, there was a certain feeling that we've had enough, and people got out and voted that probably hadn't voted before.
And that has been another problem through the years that's developed, was the attitude, what difference does it make? I don't really bother to vote.
Oh, brother.
And we just had a passage of the liquor law in Oldham County that you could now have packaged liquor sales in Oldham County. And the turnout on that vote was 20% of the eligible voters. So, that just illustrates whether you're for it or against it, only 20% of the people bothered to take the time to go to the poll. And this is what's been happening. And this is another thing that the media and others have done. And the other part were, just like they did with Matt Bevin, what I call character assassination. They attack people, they give everything about them, and where you think, oh my gosh, I don't want to get involved in any of this.
Yeah.
I don't like either one, so I'm not going to vote.
Yeah, they tried to keep people from voting, but still, there's an old song that says, God still moves.
In mysterious ways.
That's right. And people, just pour it out. And hopefully they're going to keep pouring out. Well, now, we're almost out of time. I just wanted to say we're trying to develop a network of people that we can call, and they can call their congressman, they can call their state elected officials down in Frankfurt. Give them your ideas, what you want them to do. And if you'll call us right now, we'll put you in that network. The number is 893-2444. 893-2444. And here is the history of this movement where they're telling false information about what's going on. And we'll send you that. We'll send you a calendar for the upcoming year. And we really want you to be a part of the solution to this problem. There's a great move of God, and people are getting excited and getting involved. And we know what happened on November 3rd, and it's going to keep working. And hopefully we're going to turn this around.
Well, that's another point that's very good, because we're having the special elections to fill those vacancies in the next month or two.
Really?
Yeah, in January there'll be about 4 different elections, and that's another area where you make sure that you get the right candidate elected to fill those vacancies, so that there's almost a good chance now that the Democratic control of the House of Representatives that's been there for over 90 years can be broken for the first time.
And then we can get some pro-life bills passed, pro-family bills, pro-religious freedom bills,
right.
And a lot of the whole state, instead of being the poorest state, we can be one of the more wealthy states.
Exactly. And charter schools and a lot
charter
of
schools.
There's a long list of things that have been attempted and defeated at the last minute.
And get rid of all the huge debt that they've put into. Well, anyway, again, give us a call at 893-2444, and we'll send you this brand new video on the history of the deception that has been going on here in Kentucky, and we'll put you on the list. And you can help us with the voter guides and with the DVDs that are all free. This video here is free, and we'll get started. And with God's help, we're going to turn this whole thing around. So let's see, we're about out of time. But that number again is 893-2444, and we really need your help.
This omnibus bill approves the President's request for increased refugee admissions, allowing him to bring in as many refugees as he wants, and he can bring them from anywhere he wants, and allow them access to unlimited welfare and entitlements at the taxpayer expense, which is not scored as a cost. Under this bill, it will ensure at least 170,000 green cards. That means permanent residency with a guaranteed path to citizenship, refugee, and asylee approvals will be issued to migrants from Muslim countries just over the next 12 months. It contains dramatic changes to federal immigration law that would increase by as much as fourfold the number of low-wage foreign workers provided to employers under the controversial H-2B visa program. You go into hotels and you go into restaurants. Are not Americans doing those jobs? H-2B workers are supposed to be here to fill seasonal jobs that Americans allegedly won't do. That's what they say, those who want more, cheaper labor. At a time of record immigration, we do not appreciate the scope of it. We're on track. We already have the highest number of foreign-born in American history. But I just want to say we're at record levels, both in total numbers and in a few years, the highest percentage of foreign-born in America will be reached, and it will continue thereafter. So is it any wonder that 83% of the electorate want immigration either frozen or reduced? And the Republican-led Congress is about to deliver the president a fourfold increase in one of the most controversial foreign worker programs that we have. So I, along with my colleagues, Senator Shelby and others in the House, asked for the inclusion of specific language in this omnibus bill that would protect the interests of the American people, but none of that was included in the omnibus bill. I doubt they ever spent a minute looking at the letter from two United States senators. Over the course of the last year, as chairman of the Subcommittee on Immigration and the National Interest, I sent appropriators a list of several dozen provisions for inclusion in our funding bills to improve immigration enforcement, block presidential overreach and lawlessness. Industry's request for more foreign workers, that was granted. But last night, this morning at 2 a.m., I guess, when the bill was produced, it's in there.
But this session video was really good.
It really is, and it covers all the things like the sanctuary cities. The
oh, yes.
There was another major part. And these are the things that people need to be aware of and hold responsible those elected officials who have voted for these kind of things that they say they were opposed to, but yet when it's buried in a bill, it doesn't exist. So Pelosi said with Obamacare, we don't know what's in it, but you can read it after it passes. And this is the same kind of a cover they're using on this Obama extension of all of these benefits.
You know, there's an old song. It says, he said, if the left hand doesn't get you, then the right one will. Okay, so here's the thing. If the Muslims don't get you, then the illegal murdering immigrants will. So they got all kinds of things they're trying to bring against us, but we can turn it all around. So give us a call, 893-2444. And we thank Ed Holloway for being with us, and we ask you to tune in again next week for the rest of the news.
People come here to America illegally. They got children somewhere around the world. They don't have a Social Security number. They use an I-10 identification document for executives who's supposed to travel in. And they use that, and they file some sort of tax return, and they don't pay taxes because their income is low, but they get a tax credit based on children that are not even in the country.